Hello again. Carlos Scarpero here, VA mortgage specialist at Ross Mortgage and Military Mortgage Boot Camp. Are you thinking about buying a home on some acreage? Maybe a nice little house and some land, and that sounds beautiful, living with some acreage. If that's your dream, I want to talk a little bit about that and how to get VA financing for that particular loan. What I found is a lot of people think that there's an acreage limit on VA because, after all, in FHA there's a limit. I believe on conventional there's probably a limit as well. I'm not even sure if there is. And so for some reason there is a misconception out there that VA loans have an acreage limit. I'm here to tell you some great news. There actually is not an acreage limit on VA loans. Let me repeat that. There's not an acreage limit on VA loans. Pretty darn cool, right? So a little bit about that. Just because the VA says there's not an acreage limit doesn't mean that all lenders don't have an acreage limit. There's something called lender overlays. And so what a lender overlay means is that the lender puts restrictions on top of what the VA says as the requirements. And so in a lot of cases, many lenders will put limits on top of that and say, well, the VA says there's no acreage limit, but we're going to put an acreage limit anyway. That's one scenario. The other one is where a loan officer mistakenly misunderstands the rules and decides that they think there's an acreage limit, they've heard there's an acreage limit, but when in fact there's not an acreage limit. And shame on them for not being educated. So where I work, Ross Mortgage, we go by VA guidelines. The VA guideline says there's no acreage limit, and therefore we have no acreage limit. Beautiful thing, right? Beautiful thing. Now, there are some things to consider. So if you're going to do a farm type operation, make sure to check zoning because it does need to be zoned residential or agricultural to buy a house on some acreage. And there can't be a business there. So, for example, if you're buying Young's Dairy Farm, for example, multi-million-dollar business, and they're valuing it based on the cash flow of the business, you can't do that. You can split it off. I've seen some scenarios where they take a residence and buy that, and then maybe in a separate transaction you buy a business separately from the loan. That's fine. But keep in mind that for VA mortgage loans, they're designed for houses and land surrounding houses. So keep that in mind as well. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. My number is 937-572-3713. That number again is 937-572-3713. I can be reached online at scarpero.com, SCARPERO.com. I am licensed in Ohio, Kentucky, and Michigan. So if you're in those areas, I would love to speak to you about your VA mortgage loan, hook you up, get you a great deal on it. And most importantly, you're dealing with someone that specializes in this and knows what we're talking about. If you're outside of Ohio, Kentucky, and Michigan, feel free to reach out anyway. I am part of a group of loan officers that are very knowledgeable about VA loans and can certainly help you. I look forward to speaking to you soon.